Last game I want to talk about from last week in detail, Oregon and Ohio State. My favorite part is uh, them having to change the rules because of Dan Lanning's little loophole. I
Dude,
think that's the funniest thing ever.
I love that.
That was literally the coolest thing I think I've ever seen a coach do.
Yeah. So just to recap, so Ohio State's driving down. They have one timeout, and Oregon's like, we're just going to put an extra defender out there. So we're going to have 12 men. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. They'll get a free play, but while they're running that free play, the clock's going to be ticking.
There was like 12, 14 seconds left. So, I mean, we have an extra guy. The clock's going to run, and we'll just take the 5-yard penalty.
And it worked so perfect. It's because that's exactly what happened. They ran that play. Oh, whoops, they threw the flag. Oh, well, whatever. We get another 5 yards closer. Doesn't put us in field goal range. We still have to try to get into field goal range with this next play, but now we have 8 less seconds to do it. It was so perfect. And I get that they have to change that. You can't do that. But also, like, that's such a specific instance where that would work that I kind of wish they would keep it.
And Dan Lanning kind of outed himself in the press conference, like laughing at the notion of like pretty much saying he did do it on purpose. If he would have just been dumb and like, oh no, we didn't mean to do that, I don't know if they changed that rule.
Well, if you remember, Iowa State tried to do something very similar. I don't know if it was last year or the year before against Notre Dame. Except they did the opposite. They wanted 10 guys on the field instead of 11. It didn't work out quite as well for them. Or no, it did. No. Okay, who put 10? Was it Ohio? Okay, I'm losing my mind here. Somebody had 10 people on the field.
It was the 4th and goal play. Ohio State only had 10 defenders on the field.
Ohio State only had 10 defenders.
And
Notre Dame still didn't score.
No, they won.
They did. They won on it.
You're confused.
Notre Dame won that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay, and then it was last year.
No. I'm sorry. Notre Dame was on defense. They only had 10 because Ohio State won. It was the 4th and goal run, and they got in. I just had the teams flipped. So it was Notre Dame only had 10 on defense.
Okay, because I remember 2 things. I remember one team only had 10 players, and that Ryan Day yelled at Lou Holtz in the post-game conference.
Yes,
like that
because Ohio State won. They scored on 4th and goal. It was Notre Dame that only had 10 on defense.
I like that name, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I saw some people talking about, Will Howard should have just spiked it. He should have known that there were 12 guys on the field. I'm like,
I guess, but
you're in a game fighting for your fucking life. There's no shot you have the wherewithal to spike that ball and notice that there's 12 guys on the field. Like, there's no shot.
Also,
I didn't see that. I know people were clowning him for doing the slide too late, which I give him a full pass for. But
no, he does not get a pass for that. No.
He's trying to make a play. He's trying to make.
I understand that, but like, if you're gonna do that, you got to know, like, you got to get down and have time to like signal for timeout with your hands. He's fighting for an extra 5 yards, where it's like, brother, just take, the 3 or 4 and get down and give yourself for sure another play. I mean, I didn't like that.
I get it, but that wasn't even like the play design. It's not even like that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to hit the quick pass. Quick pass wasn't there. He's like, well, shit, now I got to make a play because we're not in field goal range as is.
It doesn't matter.
But he was too worried about gaining yards. Like, I don't mind him taking off and running there, like you said, but like, he's too worried about fighting for yards. It should be just get down and call the timeout so you can run another play.
Yeah, if you go down like 2 yards earlier, then you have the chance to call a timeout.
I guess that just seems like a lot of hindsight.
Yeah, for sure. But like, a 5th-year guy should know better than that. Like, with 6 seconds, you got to know. Like, find the clock, know where it's at, and be like, get down and signal for the timeout. But I don't.
But yeah, I wouldn't have even
thought.
Or
just throw the ball over someone's head. You don't even have to take off.
Yeah.
Throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, that probably would have been the better. But yeah, I don't give him any. I wouldn't have even thought about why would you spike it if there's 12 men on the field. You get a free play.
Because then
that's crazy.
Well, I get why.
You get the seconds and then you get the extra 5. Yeah.
But like,
I mean,
why
no,
would
I'm
why would
not
you?
saying that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's silly. It's a
whoever's
silly thing.
clowning him for that is crazy. That's a silly.
There's no way he has time to count all the players on defense on the field every play.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you guys.
Yeah. Okay, we're all on the same page there for once.
Yeah.
Is Ryan Day on the hot seat?
Yes.
That's so funny. That's so silly.
I have this conspiracy.
You're right, but
theory.
that's silly.
I have this conspiracy theory. The whole reason they went out and hired Chip Kelly was because if Ryan Day falters against Michigan or looks really bad in the college football playoff, that they're just going to slide him into the head coaching spot.
Oh shit.
That'd be pretty crazy. Do you think? Because the thing with Chip Kelly is that they only hired him because Bill O'Brien ended up taking the Boston College job. So, like, is that the plan with Bill O'Brien too?
Maybe. I don't know.
That'd be silly.
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
That's not crazy. That's a nice backup plan to have.
I think Chip Kelly is a better scenario than Bill O'Brien.
They feel like the same caliber.
Yeah, but yeah, they're probably the same. But maybe they didn't offer Chip Kelly right away because they didn't think they could steal
This
him
is a
away
head
from
coach.
Yeah.
Why would you?
I think maybe after O'Brien left, they're like, shit, well, let's try to get someone really good.
My theory is that Chip Kelly hasn't done shit since he had Scott Frost on his staff.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
maybe it was just the guys he had at Oregon for that run.
Yeah, like Heisman Trophy quarterback with quarterbacks coach Scott Frost. I see what you mean, though. Maybe Scott Frost is the future at Ohio State.
No.
Do you think guys like that think like, damn, I should have just never left? I should have just been cashing paychecks, just fucking running up this goddamn league, just never left. And here we are, offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
That's just men, though, is like the arrogance to think, oh, I can do this at any other place.
I think that there's more regret in not giving the NFL a go than going and stinking it up. But
now we have our king. Now we have our king.
That's right.
Well, I mean, Nick Saban proved it. It's like if you figure it out after you fail at the NFL level, and like Nick Saban really failed. I mean, he's going to be remembered as one of the greatest coaches of all time. Like, no one's worried about what he did at the Dolphins in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So.
It's amazing. He was a national championship head coach before that, and nobody gives a shit because that's how many championships he won at Alabama.
Am I crazy? Who did he win a natty? LSU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point. That's so silly.
The timeline was murky for me. I forgot.
Very murky. I do say if he does lose to this Michigan team, he should get fired.
Dude, if he loses to Michigan, he's going to be fired on the fucking field. They're not going to let him back in the locker room.
Nor should they.
I think they might carry him through the streets, fucking quartered and hung.
Yeah. We might have a human sacrifice on our hands if Jesus.
Because it's hard to falter a coach. People throw out the record like 2-6 or 1-7 against top 5 teams. Yeah, so would every coach in America outside of Kirby Smart. That's such a crazy thing to hold against somebody. But yeah, this Michigan team stinks, and that's the thing is that like even Urban Meyer lost to Purdue. He lost to Iowa. Like some real.
But you gotta win the rivalry game.
But you, especially this year, because this Michigan team stinks. And it's one thing when they're like winning a national championship or they're convicted cheaters. But yeah, I mean this Michigan team stinks. You have to. They're a stinky team.
And
you can't lose
just like teams. It was the way Michigan was beating them too a little bit because 2 years ago where they won by like 20, right? It was like 45-24.
That's right. Yeah.
They were just mauling them up front. And it was like no one has made Ohio State look like that in a while. And the fact that they did it in 22 and then beat them down again in 23 was pretty crazy.